elevate. Only obligation is to tell it straight.
Okay, we are going to talk about one of my favorite subjects, which is about professional development, self-development, and it is goal setting. Goal setting, goal setting, goal setting. It never gets old. No matter how much we try to run away from it, no matter how much we say it's overrated, don't have time to do goal setting, don't have time to write it down, whatever it is that you're thinking that's negative about goal setting, I'm here to help you break it down a little bit. And I'm also here to kind of give you some tidbits on how I personally, at least now, I'm working on my goal setting process. So I'm going to share that with you. So today I'm going to give you guys 4 steps, 4 different elements of goal setting that I live by and that I think will help you gain another perspective about goal setting that makes it relevant really to anything. So number 1 is the vision piece. Okay, number 1 is the vision piece. And when you are beginning to write down a goal, you're beginning to think of a goal that you want to achieve, the first thing that you really need to do is reflect. Reflect a little bit on what it is that you really want to achieve, because the number 1 mistake that people make when they're making goals is they think too hard about it. You put too much into it. And yes, there are times where we need to really think deep about specific long-term future goals that we want to obtain. I get that, but we do it too much. We think too much about the big picture. And yes, the big picture is something that helps you keep forward and keeps you on that progression and keeps you on a timeline, keeps you disciplined. But at the same time, the big picture is not always necessary when you're thinking about a goal. And a lot of times when we're making goals, we make them too big. We make them too obtainable for the future instead of looking at how can we do these micro goals that, subconsciously, we are actually making these micro goals that turn into short-term goals that turn into long-term goals. So again, going back to the vision piece, reflect on the goal that you're trying to obtain and make sure that it's something that's in your immediate future. Start there. When you start with something that's in your immediate future, you're more than likely going to achieve that goal. It just makes sense. When you can think about it, you can make a mental note about something that you really want to do or needs to be done before you can do something else. You're going to achieve that goal so you can move forward. And that's a micro goal. And that's good for progression as well, just like a big picture long-term goal. And another part of the vision piece is pick something that you like. What do I mean by that? When we're goal setting, especially when it comes to, New Year's Eve goals, things that you want to do differently for the new year, we make a mistake and we choose things that we just have never done before, and we just throw it out there and we say that we're going to do it. And they're goals that we don't like, but we know that we need to do them. They're discipline goals, but at the same time, how long do you stick to those goals? So make sure you're picking a goal that you still like, that you really see yourself achieving, because that makes all the difference with actually achieving the micro goal in the first place. Number 2 is the time piece. The time piece. Making sure that your goal is on a timetable is so important, because if you just throw something out there, again, going back to that first piece when we reflect on big time or big long-term goals, the big picture goals, we waste time in between by not achieving the short term and the micro goals. And so for the second piece, when you are giving yourself a timeline, make sure it's reasonable. Again, day by day. Day by day, just make a micro goal day by day that you can achieve every day. And for example, fitness goals, that's easy. Every day, I'm going to get up and do 50 sit-ups and 50 push-ups. Boom. That's something that I know I can do every day. And maybe it's something I've already worked up to. And so that's why I'm going to say that's a goal for every day. And it's realistic. And who knows, maybe in 6 more months, I'm going to up that. And I can do that because I've made the micro goals. I've made it a goal that I like and one that I have built upon. And so now I can give it a better, or I can change that timeline in my second element of my goal set. Number 3, This is the part where people kind of fall off the wagon. Okay, when it comes to goal setting, not everyone likes to write it down. Not everyone has a bulletin board where they have, pictures everywhere, like a vision board. Not everyone has one. I don't have one. I want to make one, but again, finding the time, right? But making sure that you put that goal somewhere and make it conscious. How do you make it conscious? I've got 3 things. Writing it down, that is something that I do. Praying about it every night, that is something that I do. Or thinking about it, meditating on it, that is something that's going to help stick to it, help you stick to it. And the third part is self-talk. You're not going crazy. You're not crazy if you self-talk. It's something that is important. It's just as important as writing it down. It's just as important as praying on it or meditating about it. Self-talk makes it real. And a part of you needs to make it real so you can do those things. You can have those micro goals every day if it's every day. And that's the part that's going to make you accountable. The third element is being accountable. And then lastly, after that, after you have, made a vision, you've reflected on it, after you have picked something that you like and that's realistic to you, and after you have made yourself accountable to sticking to it, the fourth part is the process. You begin to process that goal once you've completed it. And when you process it, you then repeat it. And it's natural. When you achieve one thing, it's natural for you to look for the next thing to achieve. And that's the part of your goal setting process. Being able to move from those 4 different elements in however form or fashion you want. But those are the 4 main elements that I've come across when I'm consciously making my goals. I know that I have to reflect on it. I know that I have to pick something that I like, right? And that I know I'm going to stick to. And then when I give myself that timeline, I make myself accountable every day. And then I repeat the process. That is how I know I'm going to achieve my goals. And that has been successful for me. So I hope that you guys have taken something away from this. Again, goal setting, back to basics. If you can think about those 4 different elements, I guarantee you'll have better success goal setting.
Elevate. Only obligation is to tell it straight.